Etifo munya wonu say ye beto aba one promise be anwa hama make it to Ghanaians say nyame ya do na se oba aba mo na nyame ya do na se Ghana for eto aba na mana obedi je Ghana ejapade nko bibiara wawia ebia ebi ensasi sika te say in fact enwebe bia akoso bia Ghana ejapade bi obi awia bia no obeje Ghana de amanti we eka ho ma Ghana for bebre na ni ji because now it was perceived say no NPP for it I mean so maybe the Ghana o maybe Ghana pa nti ade ana Ghana for no now in fact na obi bia ni ade say mahama make that promise in fact go for bebre na kwapo to aba man because of say that promise now o make it na in fact already abaya almost any in na no chale one chinchen so kra what 5-member committee Dumelevo Richmond Archer now the Kofi Boachi account, not the Martin Pebu so account now the Okujato and so account because on a campaigner, in fact, on corner will be a chairman of the committee, no, imponing in answer Monko na Ubi Bia Muhuni say, where we are a Bia Monko Monko pay evidence in Bra, not to say a bar by more Attorney General, so Nanka Waliji and I prosecute or more any now. Na mwamu say asem we ora in fact omukwa your more estimation enya ehu sika dodoa nyame ya adom na se ora netimi koso wano a omu betimi age ama aban in fact asa aban no krampo no sai sika no krampo oje krampo ehu hia se anka yesa be ko IMF na sika in fact akofado time ye ko IMF ko je no na se sika nkofo awia no se echen sika no krampo na ye ko IMF ko bobo se krampo ana ye ko pa choso omo emfama ye no na yenya anim ora asa ebi mo de in ora da be na mo bechi nkrofo da be na mo bechi nkrofo into mo sha se invite nkrofo ebebre in fact first scandal akwa na e wo no krampo no NSS for national service for scandal ye no kwa de mahama kwa hwemu kono to no ade we kra de he masa munye intentem kwa na we kwa de eni krampo ye de eni mpo airtime na enansen ati say onu no ade but okay no for record in ne account but me can say ni na no investigation ne yi bebre o ma inviting kofo bebre enansen ya nipa ba akwa a omo invite no professor Ekunfi no ona che sky train na omo ka so omo de ba no sa ni nyina ni say omo akotwe hu sky train amba one nipa kono no esi no omu nyina no ye omu nyina agina court sisi ya no meka aban ene omu edi na we na deputy attorney general Justice Shram Sai yes or a very fantastic lawyer very fantastic or no in fact or say electoral crampo or no ana oba no nguza mu say na mu orai asemu di hunhura nkrofo ana asemu ka ase de wi amu se didi ensemu we hu bi na ye di ora ba chi nkrofo ye hu de nyina ye nse de wa say enwuma ni na yesulu enwuma ni na yesulu ono say me nka nkere mo enkofo bebe na afa yo omo se omo pa ya chow ye fo mo born in chow mo na sika ana ejapade omo wie bia no etifo no na media to screen so no in fact sika ana se japade omo wie bia no enkofo pa chow so chale yesre mo when a man fa public and when a man fa anye dey when a man fa yanko court ya yen kasa ne yepamacho ye de beba na nkofo bebre na no afre a omo pa acho ese omo de sane woni bra yenye se owura no ya yesuro in fact ye nte se previous government oni evidence kurampa no de court nti aban no anam se state be with resources wo ho long last no ne ye hu se sa mo kwana mo nhyere ni enough evidence ebiti se ato force ne others here omugina court for the past 8 years ni nyina no kwana prosecution be anti man cause no say it was lack of evidence but omo no de ne de in as much as say nkrofo emeki yi say no nipa we mo investigate no wadi we no omo anso no also omo anso nya enough evidence a omo betimi de gina so etimi de yakọ court omo timi say evidence we de yakọ a betimi a prosecute ni pay ebiti say edubu ahin edie na chese no no ye fair anaze no no ye enough for say evidence omunya nyina chese no akwane de wabo Ghana ekapa na asema woka ni say no enye say ya yesulo na emmom nkofo bebre na no efre omo nkofo bebre na no enenam asofofo so enenam imanfo so in fact enenam chese Ghana mpanimfo bebre ahemfo so pon macho so look ye pamacho ye sremo na say say court we come and lord me say oh I confess me guilty and I say sikande yes ma confess and I say ma confess sikande me fire the assassin dey me fire na mum me pamacho me pese me return scan na nka na ijapade ni nyina nti say ana deputy attorney general or de abetudwa yes no ye nye slow na mum nkofo bebre na no frefre paya chow edi drato ni nampenifo so paya chow say yemfo mo born ntom no o mo be return sika no mum because ya be kan ya ono ne ka was isi that say wo lele no wa be return sika no na wa ye free and na be keep sika no no akọ serve j term no wi no ba enjoy sika no na so omo no the purpose of the ora no say omo ebeji sika or as ye ma won fa sika no akoda jelo ye be no amaka no se wodi sika no be ba ana nwoma bia wawie bia no wo be ba de ya ye be jawo ama wako sa na eche bet we mi kwam hunu se once at the pakọ no ba ne trim ana se bia no ji sika no kwa musa angeli no because that the pakọ no jare no ma ne kwa o sa ni opportunity fufuro bia o sa be wia etifo sa na eruma na da nti say ana justice Sram sai de abetudwa ene ye se ye fambra na nka etifo mo nso embetie bi alright there won say mebre na no aba medubu ahene ayi de yo tiefo me de audio bi so ebeto aso eno so no nkofo ka fa sa nsem we hu nyina ni bi no tiefo me de mo ebesi.
Evening, Mr. Anand.
Good one. Yes, how are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm well.
Wonderful. I'm not quite sure if I've kept you much longer at your night.
No.
Good one, because I know you don't sleep early. Good. Martin, first of all, sir, what we are learning is that anytime soon the oral team, your job will come to a close and then you hand over your report to the president. Take us through, first of all, the purpose on why this oral team was formed. Then we go into other stuff.
Okay. So, President Mahama, while he was president-elect, at a meeting with people who had come to congratulate him, some foreign ambassadors, etc., also indicated that many Ghanaians had been sending him messages, WhatsApp, text, etc., reporting bad deeds, malfeasance, etc., the loot that was ongoing, and some which had happened under the NPP regime. So he saw that he could no longer cope. So it occurred to him to then set up a committee to receive such complaints, because he could see that he wasn't the only person, and that, it means that people would reach out to other persons. So he wanted to have all of these complaints in one, pool, in one pool at one point. So that's how come he set up this committee. It's also instructive to know that it's already in the NDC manifesto that if they want power, they would set up an institution to do Operation Recover or Loot. So he kick-started it with the committee. So you see that the next thing is that he gave the committee a very limited mandate. That is to receive these complaints, some of which people had sent to him. So he said, okay, then receive. Yours is to receive, gather, and also gather evidence that's readily available. Just receive the information and gather any evidence that they bring to you. Because some people, and through what you find is that some people bring petitions. They don't have supporting documents because the persons who have caused the wrong deeds are still in office. So there are some petitions, there are no attached documents, etc. Then there are other petitions, you find all the documents attached. So we receive all. So we are not allowed to say, because we are not investigating, if you bring a petition and it has evidence attached, we will say take the evidence away and bring it another time. No, we are gathering the evidence as well. And some of the evidence too is in the public domain. So like if you take National Cathedral, and some of the evidence is in the public domain.
Exactly.
So we gather that, put them together, and then wait for the stage 2 of the ORA, which is the investigations, and then prosecutions. Yeah, so ORA, OSC has already written that, yes, it will work with ORA.
Okay.
So we'll collaborate with the OSC. I'm sure it will go for a lot of the other state institutions.
Okay.
Then we'll see what can be done.
Good one. Beautiful one. Now, Martin, would you say, therefore, that whatever that you've gathered, from the legal standpoint, and of course, you being a lawyer, could be described as premier facie, or otherwise, the Attorney General is yet to establish the premier facie based on the report you submit? Where do we stand?
Yes, so we see, some of them, there are over 800 petitions, complaints, etc.
Wow.
So it's not every case that's the full case. Some of them are information and tips. Like they can say, hey, watch this institution, Ghana Maritime Authority, or watch Ghana Ports and Harbors, people are stealing, etc. So those ones, if you say watch Ghana Ports and Harbors, people are stealing, that is not a full complaint by itself. That one is a tip, right?
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is that some of them, they are not evidence that you take straight to court. But there are others which are, we as lawyers, we deem them relevant evidence.
Yeah.
But we know that the Attorney General will also exercise his independent judgment on them. But naturally, the training we have as lawyers is largely the same.
I see.
The next thing that differentiates us is maybe further studies and experience. But a lot of the evidence we've seen, it appears to us that they are relevant and good, admissible in court.
I see. Good one. Now, Martin, some Ghanaians are also expressing the view that isn't too early that the oral team is facing off, and that's one. Number two, some are also asking questions. Do you think you've gathered enough within this very stipulated period of, say, your job is not even up to 1 month? I stand to be corrected though, but within this few period, have you been able to gather enough from the 8 years countdown from the former, the ex-Wa Adodankwa Akufo-Addo's administration? Have you been able to gather all that's worth, call it operation, recovery all loots, or still we can say there are other stuffs remain that we need to recover according to your operations?
Yeah, so naturally, it's not possible to use 1 month to gather the misdeeds that were done by Akufo-Addo and his cohorts in 8 years. No, you can't use 1.5 months. I think we've been around for about 1.5 months. No, you can't. So you naturally need more time. But the thing is that, as I stated earlier, this is stage one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So stage one is the gathering. It doesn't mean when we hand over to the president, the whole of ORA is dead. No, that's not what it means.
Okay, that was the thought of some people. So it's not dead. Okay, good.
No,
good.
We standing alone like this, and the Attorney General being also alone, and OSP being alone, is what it will be dead. So it means that we may not. It's also possible His Excellency can give an extension, but let's say right now the mandate is that when the Attorney General comes, we'll hand over. But like me, as an identifiable individual, Honorable Kujeto, COP Kofi Boati, etc., we also have meaningful roles. Like this evening, I met some other persons bringing petitions, etc. That will continue. And also, even the Secretariat itself, let's say, if the Attorney General decides that ORA, we should come and be under his wing, okay? So you will see that, okay, the former ORA Secretariat now is part of the Attorney General's investigative team, or it is at OSP. But ORA is not going to die. No. It's in stages.
I see.
You will see ORA continue in different forms. And as I stated, let's repeat, the OSP has already indicated that it is willing to work with the ORA. So ORA is not going to die.
Okay.
It's here to stay.
Good.
So rest assured. Yes, it's here to stay.
Good one. Now, Martin, you are an experienced senior, lawyer, part of the legal luminary. Some are saying, Ghanaians are putting it this way. Would it be right, or if you like, to establish a different court for the prosecutions of this oral issue? In other words, they are, they are suggesting this very position on the heels of delay. So, as it were, justice delay is a justice denied. In other words, John Mohammed's administration is 4 years to go. Before the 4 years, people are expecting that a significant number of this exercise must achieve a certain meaningful, direction, so that it will not then sound as though the 4 years is up to the brim. Then it's like we've not prosecuted even one person. They are all, in stand up to the court and all of that. So why don't we create another court to expedite prosecution? Do you tend to agree with this?
Absolutely. It's also the way to go. Setting up new courts. Yes, the Chief Justice, governor will make a request, and then the Chief Justice hopefully would approve it. So that, the AG, as is written, Dr. Ayine mentioned that the public tribunals will be back. They are in the Court Act, and then the regional tribunal. Yes, so that the state looting and etc. Will receive quick and swift attention. So that's the right way to go, because some of the courts are choked. So we need to employ more judges and then reopen the tribunals, or even if later they change, the Attorney General changes his mind and say, okay, we should continue with the existing courts, they will increase the number of courts. So as we sit now, there are courts for galamsey, especially for galamsey. There is a court for recovery of debts owed to the state. And yes, so why not? If we bring another court for recovery of debt loot owed to the state, it's nothing new. So currently, as we speak, there is a judge whose main jurisdiction is to deal with cases where people owe the government money. So it's there. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a galamsey court. There is a tax court. And there is a court for people who steal electricity. There is a court for people who don't pay snakes. So, yes, it's nothing new for the Attorney General to say, oh, we'll open more courts. It's been ongoing over all these years.
Good one. Now, Martin, would you share this with us, that all, so far from what you've uncovered, would you say that they are all politically exposed persons, or we have private, persons also involved from your recovery?
Oh, generally, the politically exposed persons need private collaborators to go hand in hand. It's usually the norm that they do hand in hand with private persons. So you find private persons, you find politically exposed persons. That's to say, when we say the politically exposed, some of them are actually even private. You see, so when you say politically exposed, let's take a minister. If the minister is the one in office, but a lot of the time, because of the nature of the job of the minister, if he's a man, his wife easily becomes a politically exposed person because he's married to a minister.
Yeah.
All right. If it's a woman, the same thing for her husband. Sometimes even going after children. So a lot of the politically exposed persons are not public officers. They are actually private persons. Yeah.
I see. Good. Martin, before I let you go, my last question will be to ask, give us the page. How many pages of this document? And can you give us a tidbit of, some of the persons in the document, if you can share this with us? How many pages of document are we expecting? And of course, give us some, some highlights of persons you can figure out. Are you ready?
So number one, the page, we are not done fully. We have this weekend to finish up. So I cannot readily mention the page. If I mention 200, then by Monday it turns out to be 450. You say I've misled you. Then number two, we don't mention individual names. We are waiting when we hand over. Oh, let's wait. I mean, we all know that there was a lot of loot. There was a lot of looting, and there was a lot of loot, right?
Did you capture the BOG 60 million? Is this 60 million stuff? Did you capture it?
Which one? BOG.
The BOG, the Bank of Ghana, 60 million, whatever. You recall?
The printing of money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, President Kufuor, I said President Kufuor. President JM, President Mama earlier said that Ernest Addison has questions to answer. So that one too will be there.
I see.
Right. So those ones are in the public domain.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the cases, etc. That all led to this aura. So we are putting everything together, and then when what do you call it? It's presented to the president. And then to the Attorney General, you'll hear more from us.
Good one, good one. Martin, I have to let you go, and then we'll touch base with you as the, the group works gradually to submit your report to the president. Then we'll touch base again with you. Many thanks indeed for this very time, Martin.
You're welcome.
Good one, good one, good one, good one. Good one. Martin.